2023. So excited to share this video with you guys. Now, I hope the lighting is okay. I'm still working on it. The clock's changed here in the UK and it's now dark. Pretty much, it's just dark a lot, often. It goes dark at 4. It's kind of hard to find the daylight. So, I'm really sorry. I'm just kind of going to be working on it. Obviously, throughout winter, it's going to be pretty dark most of the time, so I'm going to have to sort that out. Hopefully this is good for you. Anyway, so this is what I've watched video. I just made a video for this video and I talked about how I usually write down like little star ratings. I'll show you actually on a notebook. This is all kind of full of stuff, and I do that and I don't really share my star ratings with you. So now I'm going to do that, but that kind of is going to lead to more explanations than I would usually give. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun and it kind of will guide you on what I think of a movie and stuff. So no stars means it sucks and I hated it. 1 star means that it was just not really very good and I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really have a good time with it. 2 stars means it was okay, I enjoyed it, but I had some problems with it. 3 stars means it was a good movie, I enjoyed it. You know, it just wasn't one of my favourites, wasn't the best, not something I'm going to go back and watch over and over again, but I had a good time with it, I enjoyed watching it. 4 stars means that I did really enjoy it. I'll probably watch it again. You know, it had a lot of good things in it. I really, you know, so 4 stars means I really do like it. 5 stars is like one of my favourites movies. So 5 stars is like kind of, you know, my 5 stars is pretty high, so it's, you know. So 4 stars though means really good. So, and 3 stars is just like, it's a good movie. And then, you know, whatever. So, the first movie that I have got on my list I watched is Hocus Pocus, which obviously is a Halloween movie. I'm so sorry for not doing any Halloween videos. This week has just been really off and there's no Tuesday night movie night. There's not going to be a Random Rambles, but the next week's going to be the combined of the 2. So I'm really sorry about all of that and the Halloween stuff, but I hope you all had a fantastic Halloween. And I only watched 1 Halloween film, but it was this one. Everyone always goes on about this film. They watched it all the time and they watched it when they were a kid. This film came out in 1993, which was when I was born. So that was cool. I'd never seen it before ever. So I watched it. I was like, I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus this year. So I did, and I enjoyed it. I gave this movie 3 stars. I thought it was a good movie and I enjoyed it, but I didn't grow up with it, which is always hard. If it's somebody's favourite childhood movie, but then you watch it and you didn't grow up with it, it's kind of different for you. So basically this movie is about these 3 witches and they're from, you know, a long time ago, I can't remember when, and they get hung because they are witches and they stole this little girl and took her spirit away and it was just terrible, and they live in this little village, and then basically it's now Halloween night and there's this boy and his little sister. His little sister is so cute, she's so funny, I love how feisty she is, she's awesome. The little girl is so cute, I loved her, and he meets up with this girl and they go to the house where it's like supposed to be, you know, this house where these witches lived, and basically they bring them back and it's hilarious. We've got Bette Midler who plays the witch there, we've got Sarah Jessica Parker who plays another witch, and who is the other witch? Kathy Najimy? She's the other witch, I think. And so yeah, I really did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of just a fun Halloween movie, a fun family film. I mean, it's not Halloween now. Next Halloween, if you haven't seen this one, check it out. So that's Hocus Pocus. Next, I watched quite different. I watched a Christmas movie, A Golden Christmas. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It just felt like a Christmas movie. Now, this Christmas movie came out in 2011. It's probably maybe a TV type one. So there's 2 people here and all these puppies and this dog. It looks like it's about dogs. There's loads of dogs on the back, loads of dogs. And it wasn't really about dogs that much. So I gave this movie 2 stars because of a few reasons. I enjoyed it, I did. But there was a lot of it was very dialogue heavy. I just wasn't expecting it from this movie, so I don't know. It's hard. It wasn't. Basically, it's about 2 people and they each have a child. He has a daughter, she has a son, and basically she goes back to her hometown after she's a widow and he is divorced, and you know, she tells her son about this time that she had when she was younger and she lived there and there was this dog, and that's kind of a little mention of a dog there. And then, you know, the family of her family is trying to sell that house, and she's like, oh, I want to buy the house, and then another buyer comes in. So see, it looks kind of like it could be okay for children, but I don't really know if children would enjoy this because it's a bit weird. A buyer comes in, which is this guy here. He wants to buy the house, and he, you know, puts an offer in before she got a chance to, and her family says, well, you know, we can't go back now, we've let him have an offer in the house, we didn't know you wanted it, and she's kind of, you know, tries to, it's not that Christmassy, really. Christmas happens in this movie, and it's based around Christmas. She comes home for Christmas, and there is dogs in it. He has a dog. He has this dog here, and obviously, at the very end of the movie, all these other dogs come into it. Anyway, and it's kind of a sweet story. It's kind of more of a romantic story, but it wasn't that Christmassy. But you could probably watch this any time of the year, and it'd be okay. But it was just kind of an okay. It was an okay. It wasn't great. It was an okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. Next we have Maleficent. I've done a review on this. I gave it 4.5 stars. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm not really going to talk about it because I reviewed it, which I will link somewhere if you want to check out the review. I just really enjoyed this. If you haven't seen Maleficent, definitely check it out. But I think you should watch Sleeping Beauty first because there were so many things and I was like, ooh, ooh. And I think you'd get it more if you see Sleeping Beauty. So yeah, really liked this though. The next one I've got is A Long Way Down, which also came out this year. I loved this movie. Basically, this guy called, oh my gosh, what's his name? Nick Hornby. He wrote About a Boy. About a Boy is one of my favourite movies and I absolutely love it. This kind of had a lot of similar themes to About a Boy. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I want to watch it a lot. At the beginning I was a bit like, ooh. Basically, it's about these 4 people who on New Year's Eve night are going to commit suicide, which obviously is a little bit of a taboo, sensitive topic. And I was like, oh, how is they going to go about this? And I was a bit worried, but it was okay. I was kind of like, at first I was like, oh, am I going to enjoy this? But no, it was fine. And I really enjoyed the movie. I highly recommend you check it out. I've not really heard many people talk about it. But I think it's a certain type of film. It's like a certain type of, it's kind of sad, it's kind of uplifting. It's got certain bits of humour in it. But it's like About a Boy. If you've seen About a Boy, you'll know exactly what I mean. There's little funny bits in it, but it's kind of got a deep underlying thing. And it kind of is uplifting. It's a weird kind of, I don't know how to describe these movies, but I love About a Boy, and this is definitely along the same routes. But I will be doing a review of this, so to talk more about it. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it. So it's A Long Way Down. Next is one I watched for Tuesday night movie night, and it's Martha Meet Frank, Daniel and Lawrence. This is one I personally wouldn't really have picked up myself, but my mum wanted to watch this one. This movie came out in 1998, so it's, you know, it's quite an old one. I actually thought it was older. It seems like it's older. Basically, this girl, she is coming from somewhere in America, I can't remember where, and she comes to London to kind of, you know, start her life again and refresh and stuff. And she meets these, well, she kind of meets this guy at the airport, Frank, and he's very, I don't know, Frank and Daniel and Lawrence are 3 friends. I liked Lawrence, which is this guy here. I really liked him, but I didn't like the other 2. I just couldn't warm to them, and I don't know, it was a bit weird. So I enjoyed the film. I loved, there was a certain one bit in it which was great, and it made me laugh, and I really enjoyed it. There's little bits of it I really enjoyed, so I gave it 2.5 stars, because I didn't really enjoy it, but there was definitely bits about it I liked, but there was bits about it I didn't like as well. But I did talk about it a bit more in Tuesday night movie night, so if you kind of want to find out a bit more, then I talked about it there already. Okay, next I have Pride and Prejudice. When did this come out? It came out in 2005, so it's 2005 Pride and Prejudice, right? With Keira Knightley. I hadn't seen this before. I watched it, and I gave it 2.5 stars, because I didn't like this Mr. Darcy. I'm so sorry. I know lots of people like this movie, and I'm not giving Pride and Prejudice itself 2.5 stars, like the actual story and the other concepts, like just this particular movie. This movie by itself, I really wasn't into this Mr. Darcy. I don't know. And I was sad. I really liked Keira Knightley in it, but Mr. Darcy, this guy here, he didn't feel right for the role. That's just my personal opinion. Some people really like this movie, I know, but I just didn't feel like he was right. I don't know if I watched it again. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I need to justify the situation, but overall, I enjoyed the movie and I could watch it again. But I don't know. I don't really know what to say about this one. I'm a bit stumped in this situation here. But everyone's heard of Pride and Prejudice, so I'm sure I don't really need to explain the story. But yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I didn't. There was just that was so ness that I don't know. Does that make sense? I'm so sorry that doesn't make sense. But I'm sure somebody knows what I mean. Somebody. Okay, the next one is Prelude to a Kiss with Meg Ryan and Alec Alec Baldwin. This movie was great. I actually really enjoyed this. It was so weird though. So basically, I gave this movie 3 stars. Now I've kind of been thinking about it ever since that I might give it 3.5. Usually I just do it for myself, so it doesn't really matter, but it's been on my mind since I've watched it, so I always think that's a good movie with stage romance. So basically, you know, like I said, we've got Meg Ryan and Alec Baldwin in this, and it's a love story. They, you know, fall in love, they meet, fall in love, blah blah blah, and then it's essentially, it's their wedding day, okay? And this old man turns up, and he, also Kathy Bates is in this, completely irrelevant right now, but this old man turns up at the wedding. They don't know him, but it's like, okay, whatever. And something happens. I don't really want to ruin it. It's what happens, and it involves this old man, and it's on the wedding, and it leads to an interesting, odd situation, but a really interesting movie. I really enjoyed it. Meg Ryan was really great in this. Alec Baldwin was really great in this. The old man was a really interesting character. Kathy Bates played the daughter of the old man, and it was so interesting but weird, and I kind of recommend this to anybody. If you haven't seen this one, definitely check it out. If you don't like romantic movies, don't worry, it's not that kind of way. It's not your typical Meg Ryan type of movie. It's definitely very different, but I recommend it. It's pretty old now. It came out in 1992, so it's a little bit dated, but I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend that you check this one out. If you, anybody I think could enjoy this. It's a little bit weird, so go into it with an open mind and see what you think. So yeah, I enjoyed that one quite a lot. Next, I watched Rear Window. This movie I loved. I kind of always knew I was going to like it. It's a Hitchcock movie, of course, with James Stewart and Grace Kelly. Hearing the concept of this movie, I knew I was going to enjoy it because I like that kind of thing. I like kind of movies kind of set in one place. And basically, this guy is a photographer, and he breaks his leg, and he's stuck in his apartment. I think it's in New York, and but I'm not entirely sure. So basically, he can see all these other windows, like surrounding him where he is, and he kind of starts to kind of spy on them and see what's going on, and he feels like he kind of gets suspicious about certain things, and it's really great. It's kind of intense, suspenseful, you know, I guess you classical kind of Hitchcock style, but I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I watched it again. I really thought it was great, but I kind of, like I say, it was one that always intrigued me. I was really excited to watch it. I watched it. I'm so glad that I did. I can't wait to watch more Hitchcock movies. Like, there's loads that I need to watch, but this one I really enjoyed. So if you haven't seen this movie, or if you haven't seen any Hitchcock movies, and you just want to watch a good movie, but say you don't really like it, this movie came out in 54, I think. Let me check, just in case I'm wrong. Yeah, 54. So, but it didn't matter for this movie. If you don't really like to watch movies that are quite old movies, like say you just don't, I don't know, I still recommend watching this, and if you do, and you haven't seen it, you should be watching this. I'm sure most people who do have watched it. But yeah, if you don't, definitely just give this one a go. Just trust me, you'll enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. So the next one I have here is a movie from 2014, this year, and it is New York Winter's Tale. Now of course I had really wanted to watch this because it was about New York, and you know I'm a big fan of New York. So I was like, yeah, okay, that intrigued me, but also I really like Colin Farrell, and I especially like him now after Save Mr. Banks. So I was like, you know, I really want to check this out. It looks a little bit different, but I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it, but it was kind of really, it was really weird. It kind of had, I don't know if I should get away, it kind of had an angel's demon-y type concept to it, which was a bit confusing. It wasn't explained that well. So I do want to do a review on this to talk about it a bit more in depth, because I feel like in this video I'm not going to be able to process my thoughts on exactly what I think to you well. But I enjoyed it. It was kind of a romantic story with like a fantasy type element. But yeah, I don't know, I enjoyed it. And Russell Crowe is in this. I completely forgot to say Russell Crowe's in this, but I didn't really like his character in this, so I kind of forgot about him there. But yeah, Russell Crowe's in this, and I'm just not sure on it yet, so I will do a review on it when I figure out my thoughts. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this one. I honestly I'm really not sure, so I'm not really sure what to tell you. But I enjoyed it, but it was kind of just odd, so we'll see what I think about that one in time to come. The next one I have is one that I really enjoyed, and it is Radio. I have not heard very many people talking about this, and I loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and this was actually sent to me by a friend of mine, Chris, so thank you so much for sending this, because honestly I enjoyed it so much and I had such a great time watching it. Please, if you haven't seen this movie, please check it out. I absolutely loved it. It was so heartwarming and uplifting and great. Essentially, it has a underlining of a sports movie, but it's not necessarily just that way. So if you don't enjoy sports movies, you're still going to enjoy it. So basically, this guy here, they called Radio, and he has some kind of disability. They're not entirely sure what, but you know, he's unable to. Well, at first he's unable to communicate with them well, and that's why they call him Radio, because he's really fascinated by radios. And basically, this guy here is the football coach, and he sees him walking past each day, and he basically kind of invites him to kind of, you know, just help out a bit, giving him something to do. And it's a really, really, really inspiring story, and it's really, really great, and you will love Radio. Plus, it's based on a true story, and Radio is a real person, and you just got to watch this. Honestly, I loved it. I really, 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 really recommend you watch it. If you like them kind of inspirational, feel good, go get movies, you're gonna really like this. And I just check out maybe the trailer for it, or just check it out yourself, like look it up or whatever. I really, really enjoyed it, and I just couldn't recommend this one enough. I just had a great time watching this. So yeah, Radio, I just thought it was great. But definitely be watching that one again. The next one I have here is Closer. I don't really know what to say about this one. I'd give it 3 stars. There's a reason for it. I nearly gave it 2, and I was like, no. It's got me thinking, and if a movie gets me thinking, I think that's a good thing. So it got me thinking, and it's interesting because, you know, it kind of is about people and relationships in life, but in a very different view. I loved the opening to this movie. I loved the ending to this movie. That kind of gave it a point there. I loved the opening to this. It was great. I was drawn in by the opening, and I liked how it ended. The kind of like, you know, weave together. That was really great. So we've got Julia Roberts and Clive Owen, and Natalie Portman and Jude Law are kind of in relationships. Very messy kind of relationships, and it's just kind of like, I feel like it's like a people study, but it's not. It's like, it was weird and kind of messed up and a bit, I don't know. I just don't really know what to think about this, and I only watched it, when did I watch this? Not last night, the night before. I literally recently just watched this. I haven't really processed my thoughts of it again, but I kind of feel like it left me thinking, so, but I don't know what I'd recommend with this. I don't know if I'd recommend it or if I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know. If you haven't seen this, just let me know what you think about it, because I'm not sure what I think about it. I just can't figure it out. I don't know if I think it's good, I don't know if I think it's bad, I just don't know. I think it left me thinking, and I kind of was intrigued. I wasn't going to turn it off and not watch the rest. I wasn't going to be like, oh, that's not good. So that's good. I feel like I thought it was good, but I just don't know. I don't know. It was very weird. It was very different than what I've watched with these people in before. Julia Roberts is in it, who I really like. I really like Natalie Portman. I kind of like Jude Law, and I kind of like Clive Owen. But Julia Roberts and Natalie Portman are 2 female actresses that I really like. So it was definitely very different roles for them. Julia Roberts is different than other things that I've seen her in. This movie came out in 2004, so it's, you know, one of her, well, it's not new now, it's 10 years, isn't it? But, you know, I kind of like her from the 80s and 90s best. But anyway, Closer, yeah, I really don't know about that. Next one is Kramer versus Kramer, which is Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep and this cute little boy. This movie was pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It won a lot of Oscars. It definitely wasn't, I kind of maybe hyped it up too much. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed watching it. I had a good time with it. Basically, it's about these 2 people who get a divorce. She leaves him, and he's left with his son. And he's kind of a workaholic, and he's dealing with that. And he's Dustin Hoffman. I loved Dustin Hoffman in this. He was great. The little boy in this was fantastic as well. It was an interesting look at the situation. I mean, this movie was made in '79, so, you know, it's a while back now. And Dustin Hoffman was really good though. Meryl Streep didn't. It was interesting. I kind of excited to see her in this, but she wasn't in it too much because she, like I said, she left and stuff like that. But Dustin Hoffman I thought was really good in this, and I really liked his relationship with his son that he developed, and it was an interesting movie, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I don't really know how to. Again, I just watched this one just so it's another one that I'm like, okay, yeah, I liked it, but I haven't processed my thoughts yet. But I recommend watching this one. If you haven't seen it, I think you'll enjoy it. I recommend it. It's kind of like it's a good movie, just generally. It's just one of them all around. It's a good movie. You can watch it, you can enjoy it. Sunday afternoon, whatever. But yeah, the little boy in this was really great as well. Dustin Hoffman was really good. So that's Kramer versus Kramer. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies in the comments below. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and the rating system. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, and I'll see you guys next